Live from the Icebox Studio in Montgomeryville, Pennsylvania, it's the Bill and Corey Show.
I'm Bill. I'm Bill. That's your line.
I'm sorry. I was trying to get my tablet set. I'm Bill.
And I'm Corey.
Welcome back to another live edition of Bill and Corey Show. A little out of whack. Just trying to get our YouTube thing up on my tablet, and it's not working today.
We like to go really meta and watch us as you watch ourselves as you watch us.
Questions
No, I'm
stuff,
obviously.
Yeah. So anyways, today's episode's on high purity welding equipment for it. So that's why we're dressed up like this.
Yes, in our clean suits.
High purity welding, we're not talking about cool helmets like this. This is kind of cool helmet.
But if you look good, you weld better. That's what they're saying. You look good, you weld good.
But you don't need this. You don't use this kind of cool helmet. You get to wear this nice outfit we got on here. If you like white,
yeah,
it comes in any color you want as long as it's white.
Because white, you can see the dirt from the clean room easier.
Or something. Yeah. So this is for welding for high purity equipment.
Yes.
So this is an example. This got bent up a little bit, but this is.
Well, this was in use for a lot of years. Look how, I mean, that looks pretty nice, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty shiny for being, it was used, I don't know.
I don't know, we polished it daily, didn't we?
Couple decades or something like that.
Yeah.
It's got, orbital welding on here. So
orbital.
You don't, regular welding.
Meaning it goes around in an orbit.
Yeah.
It is. Not like a stick. There's no stick.
Yeah, it's not like a little stick thing. So nothing wrong with stick welding.
Nothing wrong with stick welding. That's how I learned.
Welding, and it's like, you can't even tell where to weld it.
I know, it's so good. Like right there's the weld.
Yeah. No, that's not it.
That is not it?
It's right there.
Oh, right there's the weld, right there on this side.
Yeah, it's really, so it's
that's
really
how good it is. We don't even know it's welded.
Typically used in semiconductor grade applications. We used it in other, we used orbital welding in other tube mods because we're good at it.
Yeah,
and it could end up being a little bit cheaper to use than compression fittings. Considering the cost of fittings, and well, we're really good at it, so it's not a lot of labor.
And welding's more robust typically than fittings
less
are.
chance for leaking.
Yeah.
And this is a pigtail.
Well, this will tell you where the. This is this is a pigtail. Look at that guy.
That's an old one. It's got a lot of use. So
that's
what
why
it looks like.
Hold on. Just make sure people get it. Pig tail.
Geez, no. Okay. So this is another one that used. I don't know if this is just an order that they canceled or something, but anyways, that's that. So high purity welding.
Hold on, I have an idea, Bill. And tell me if you're crazy. And people can steal this if they want to use this. Orbital welding, meaning around the Earth. Cold welding steel. See? The new type of orbital welding. Because you go up there, right? If you're in a no atmosphere, you got nothing. Two metals touch. They just go together. They weld without the, no. Just okay. All right.
Okay. So in a clean, it's important. You don't want to have impurities when you're welding this stuff. So
Spacehead doesn't have a lot of impurities.
And stuff like that. So that's why you wear stuff like this.
Yes.
To keep your particles on your body away from the welding. In your special clean room.
Yes.
They have super high filters in there. It's always nice.
And every day we send people in there to wax it down.
No, we don't.
We don't? No? All right.
So, yeah. So let's pop up the first slide. So this is an example of what we would make in there. Well, we would weld up. That's
the weldaments there.
We call them weldaments. I don't know why. It's a 9400 panel. It's all nice welded. No swage lock. No pipe thread fittings. Okay, you can take that one down.
But VCR fittings at the ends, because we can't send an orbital welder with our panel, so you can
Okay. So anyways. So what are you going to do? We would use, this came off of, we were upgrading our system for higher volume welding. And this was from our old system, and we had a cylinder of UHP nitrogen on there.
And what is the UHP nitrogen used for typically in welding?
Oh, it's the shielding gas.
Shielding gas, yeah. So I mean,
because you don't have oxygen or air when you're welding. It's gonna it's gonna mess up.
I guess what I'm getting at is kind of interesting to think about. Like if you don't know a lot about welding, like why would they need argon or nitrogen? That stuff is just inert. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah, well that's the thing.
That's the thing. It's inert. That's why we like it. So it doesn't mess with the process that you want to happen.
So we would hook this up UHP argon, and then we went for higher volume. We're going to pull up the next slide. This is a switchover, and it's on a wider plate, and it's got, if you've seen switchovers, you probably recognize most of it. And then, so it's got, an
economizer.
No, well, it's got your HP, high pressure isolation, high pressure vent valve. That's so you can do some extra purging. This because we're using dewars, they'll have 6-foot flex hoses. It's obviously for argon. And then you want to go to the next slide? So there, we got an economizer on there. And it's set, and this is just for 350 PSI dewars. So 350 PSI dewars, that's the relief valve setting on the dewar. Because it's a cryogenic dewar, and you don't want to have it warm up and then
just
blow up.
You got to release it. Yeah. Like
So
a steamless, looks like a train steam engine.
Oh, when they go off, it makes a lot of noise.
It does, yeah.
So the idea of the economizer is it's like a relief valve. So it's gonna blow off. It's gonna release at a lower pressure than the relief valve on your dewar. So a 350 PSI dewar. This is set for 330 to 340 PSI. And it's piped into the switchover, but it's actually, the port it's piped in is the downstream port. So that bypasses the switchover. Mm-hmm. So the idea being you have two switchovers on there. I'm sorry, two
dewars.
Two dewars on there. So you're using, right now, the arrow's pointing the right, using the right side. Mm-hmm. Now if the left side dewar warms up and gets hot and pressure builds, it will bypass it
instead of blowing off into the atmosphere.
Instead of blowing off in the atmosphere, it will overtake the switchover, so it overrides the switchover thing.
The economizer, where it's set at 330.
Yeah, it's set at 330. So when it gets to 330, it'll go downstream.
So that releases the pressure into your system instead of letting the dewar release the pressure into the atmosphere.
Yeah. And with
you
argon,
capture that gas.
argon's expensive.
Yeah.
So you want to do that.
Yeah. So nitrogen is typically something you might want an economizer for.
There we go. Yeah. So yes, we sell switchovers with economizers. We don't have it on the online store yet, but it's dewar specific. So if you had a 230 PSI dewar, it would not work too well on a 350.
No, so we put a 220 on there, 200 something, I can't remember.
No. Yeah, so we'd have a different economizer. And you can't put cylinders on there. So it's dewar specific. That's why I have the label says only for 350 PSI dewars.
Yeah,
we'll have labels for only 230 PSI.
Yeah, because the economizer regular, what's the max inlet of that guy?
It doesn't matter.
I know it doesn't matter. What's that?
It doesn't matter, it's a relief valve. But if you have a cylinder on it, it's just going to draw from the cylinder until the cylinder gets below 330.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of, it just
becomes
messes things up. And we have a relief valve, interstage relief valve set, I believe at like 500-ish PSI. So if you do have a high pressure cylinder on there, you're just going to bleed it down.
Yeah, you're just going to go straight,
Yeah, so it's just for dewars. So that set up, it can handle the flow rate.
Which is key. You need a good flow rate to get enough of a purge to protect it, if you will.
And sometimes we sell high flow switchovers for really big systems. But
and what makes high flow switchover special? The higher flow.
So then you got this argon. It's really high purity stuff, but just in case.
Yeah, when it gets to the end where you're using it,
you want to make sure that there's no oxygen in there. Well, oxygen levels like minimal, moisture's minimal.
And typically hydrocarbons aren't a problem, but you wouldn't want those in there either.
Well, you're not going to have that. Your main impurities are
I'm just pointing out that we also have a hydrocarbon version.
And that's I'm leading into what we'll do next. So you can.
So what we have here is you have an oxygen trap and you have a moisture trap. Yep. And you don't want any of those getting into your purge gas, and so you want to clear it. So if it's going through a system from the dewar to the thing, there's a lot of potential. We can only make a system so good. Yeah. There's always potential for ingress or something like that, or some kind of thing.
Well, you don't want to mess up your weld because the guy forgot the purge out.
Yeah. And so right on the end, you put these on so that whatever possible things the gas could pick up as it gets to the end point, this will clean it right back out. These ones are, and we did a show recently on these, so hopefully if you're a regular viewer, I don't know if we have those, but if you're a regular viewer of the Bill and Corey show, remember we had this setup where, you trap the oxygen, you trap the moisture, and then you get a indicating one to let you know when it no longer can trap the gas or moisture.
And you got that piece there is a connector to connect the. Here, I'll hold the two.
Yeah,
So you got your 2 traps, and then that goes
Oh,
in
sorry.
between them.
Yeah, it has to be vertical. Yeah, I was holding on. Yeah.
So it's vertical, come in the bottom, go out the top, and then you get another one to put that. We don't have enough hands to do that.
Hold on. We can do it. And then we got to like bring a tube. Hold on, a tube right here.
No.
We got a tube going. No.
Stack them up. You can stack 3 in a row.
I know, but it's getting too high. I figured the area would go better if you moved it down. I don't know.
Or if you wanted to put them side by side, you can do that.
In my
Just
imaginary
do those.
scenario, we had space limitations.
Okay. There you go. So you got that, and these have these don't hold. They do a good enough job for a lower flow system.
25 liters, I think.
No,
is that?
grams
Oh,
or
grams. No, it takes 25 liters per minute.
No, 25 liters a minute. But I mean, moisture-wise,
Oh yeah.
there's posted limitations. I don't have them memorized.
Yeah, I mean you can't take a like
So if you're
dirty argon and
if you
expect
really
to
want to go
clean it.
big time, this is our NanoChem. It is our weld night purifier. It's inlet the top, inlet here, outlet here. It's all plugged up. This is just a demo. We don't have.
So what does this filter out? How does this work? Wait, like
Well, it's a purifier.
yeah. So what does it purify?
It's got magic beads in it.
Well, I
So
know.
this,
I know. We can see them in this one.
yeah, this. You can't see it in here, so you might want to put an indicator on the
Yeah, you
outlet
could.
to
Yeah,
check
you
in.
could.
But this is the NanoChem. It has media in here that will take out and the media you choose is dependent upon the gas that's going through it. So we have one, and you can buy this. Where can
Could
you
be
buy this?
digital media, traditional media. It could be not that type of media.
No, not that.
Oh, okay.
And it's not the town in Delaware County.
I was going there next.
It's not the middle of the road, anything like that.
No, but you can get it at store.mathesongas.com.
Yes, you can. Or you can just order it. So
You can just order it. Call our friendly neighborhood salesperson.
Yeah, I think 3 to 5 day lead time on something like this.
Yeah.
But this will last, I don't want to say almost forever, long time. And this will get you down to really super great levels.
Yeah. But at the same time, you don't want, this is to make sure and correct me if I'm wrong, this is to make sure your gas is clean, not to clean dirty gas, correct? Like
Right.
you're not going to order impure gas, I guess.
Well, don't buy industrial grade.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
But this is actually set up for people get like gas that's 10 ppm impurities.
Okay,
or
so this
something
one's
like
special. These ones, that
Yeah.
works for. So, yeah. So
that. Yeah, so this is the best.
yeah, that one's
This
really
is the best.
Yeah,
This is awesome.
yeah.
It's a great
Yeah.
setup, and you can get it pretty quickly. 3 to 5 days. That's pretty good for something this
Yeah,
fancy.
yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It is pretty fancy.
So yeah, it's yeah.
It's our
Well, it has
nanochem.
it's a NanoChem, all caps.
So very small chemicals.
And then we got when you're welding, so you're purging argon through there
Yes.
as a shielding gas. So you want to get just going to blow through there, and you're going to just blow the whole cylinder down or do her down. No.
Put one of these guys on the end.
Yeah.
Control your flow with a flow controller.
And this is what is this?
Is a rotometer. It's our FM 1050 reference one. It's got a
that's a
high accuracy one.
Yeah, that just happened to be the valve I had laying around. You can get them a utility valve, a high accuracy valve, different inlet outlet. You can get a base for it.
Yeah, and you can get one,
Faceplate.
and you can get the direct read ones, which
So-
a lot of times people like to get them. They'll mark it.
And let's pop up the next one.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
this shows you
Yeah, there you
these
go.
are some of our direct read argon scales.
Mm-hmm.
So what's nice about this is you set up, I think for our setup, they want 8 standard cubic feet an hour. So you'd use the E737 scale goes obviously 0, goes up to 15 standard cubic feet an hour. So you can dial in that 8, and then you're happy camper. This goes at the after everything. After
Yeah.
the purifier, then you got the
So it goes this, and then you
rotometer.
hold it with the welding
it's-
right there, and you just
No, you don't.
No, you don't. Okay.
You pipe your stuff in there. Yeah. So, and you can get all sorts of different connections on that, whatever you want. So yeah, so you get different ones. The first couple scales up there are liters per minute, and then there's, I think all the first three are liters per minute. Then you get standard cubic feet an hour. So it depends on what units you need to use.
Yeah. I mean,
We've
you know,
got,
if you're a metric guy, an imperial guy,
But-
we don't care.
we can now buy FM 1050s with argon direct reading scales on our online store.
Whoa,
Yeah,
that's pretty
we
cool.
got 5 different scales to choose
It just
from.
makes it easier to see, to know what we have, I guess.
Yeah.
So sometimes, I mean, we have thousands of scales.
Yes, we do. So it's kind of nice having direct reading. We do sell the ones that has a reference 150 millimeter scale in there, I believe. So you have to use a piece of paper chart.
Yeah, and then what a lot of people do is they'll just mark the spot that they want you to go to
Yeah,
each time with
yeah.
a Matheson approved Sharpie, right? You have to use a no.
We don't sell Sharpies in our online store. Our next sales meeting. Maybe why don't we sell Sharpies? So we
Yeah,
can
no,
mark up the road.
right up. You know,
Or
we
use
jest.
tape.
Tape works
Tape
too.
works too. So yeah, so you can take that down. So yeah, so you need
Yeah,
something for your setting up your welding system. So you need
stuff, and we got it.
We need
And we got the
a
stuff.
system to supply the gas out of the cylinder. You need to purify it, and then you need to control the flow. And then you need welding equipment.
And you need welding equipment too,
We don't sell
and
that.
a human to operate it.
Yes, you got to have human. I don't know if they
Perhaps. I mean, at least to
Yeah,
guide
get
it.
a
At least to
human.
guide it.
get a human. I don't know if they have robots. They probably do,
They probably do.
but
That's probably for one that is mass produced. You know,
Yeah,
you can't set up a robot every time to do one weld.
yeah, that's it. I think we covered just about
I
everything.
think we
here.
did as well.
I'm looking forward to taking off this.
I might keep it on all day. I
Oh, yeah,
feel important, like I'm about to do something dangerous in a movie or something.
Okay. Now next week, our topic is how to flow curves, how to read them. What are they?
Read them
how
and
you-
weep.
No, you don't weep.
No, you could weep because they are. I mean,
They can be kind of confusing.
they
So,
can be strange in my opinion.
I know.
They're fun, though.
First few times I looked at them, I'm like, what the heck is this? What am I looking at?
Yeah.
So we're going to explain that for you next week.
Hopefully.
For another, so tune in next week for another live edition of the Bill and Corey Show.
Set your VCRs.